What's up everybody, Joshua Casper back at you with Plugin Boutique, and today we're checking out That Thing by Beatskillz. That Thing is the name of this plugin, and it's actually really cool. Deceptively simple, but really does what it sets out to do, and that is kind of vintage-fi. I just made up that word, but that's what it does. It adds character to everything, all types of instruments, whether it be drums, guitar, bass, anything. It just adds character. In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through the controls, and I'm also gonna show you how to use this thing and what it does to each one of these sounds. I've got it on a drum loop, a bass, a piano, and a lead guitar. So before I jump into it, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna show you, this is the intro music or the project I have. Each one of these stems has that thing on it doing something. So let's listen to this. Okay, and now this is that same thing. Everything is exactly the same, but now these four stems don't have any that things on them. So it's a much cleaner sound, but the character is gone. So if you're looking to get that vintage feel, this is a great plugin for you. Very cool. So let's just go ahead and jump over here to this drum loop, solo it, pull up that thing. So I'm just using disturbance in the force preset here. There are two different menus inside of this kind of window. There's the main preset, which changes everything, and then there's the noise preset, which are noise files that are added to add flavor and character to the sound. Once we have a noise file loaded, we have a pitch and level control, and we can also just turn it off if we don't want it. Now below there is a bit crusher if you want to go even more vintage. So it sounds like it's like an envelope follower or some sort of gate that makes this happen, you know, only when the drums, and then it's kind of gated out. It kind of fades out after the drum hit. So I'm not quite sure the technique that it's using, but that's pretty much what it seems like to me. So there are a bunch of presets here. Obviously, drum machine might be good for the drums. There's also another one I really liked while I was messing around. I think it was called Diner something, if I can, Diner music. So you can hear like the ambience from a diner track, like people recorded in a diner, and it's getting gated in over the drums, which I think is really cool. Now, this is a chorus section over here. We got the frequency, depth, and stereo. So the frequency is going to control the chorus modulation, obviously. The depth of the chorus, so if you're going to go max, it's going to be much more apparent, while min is going to be a little bit less apparent in the mix. And the stereo is going to control the stereo width and the spatial image of the audio signal, of course. Then we got dry, wet sliders down here, so any balance between the two. If we're going to go straight wet like this. So I think this is a really sweet plugin because a lot of the time, especially on drums, when I'm trying to add more character to some dry drums, I'm always adding this ambient anyway, and just having it already here, already set up to gate, is just a big bonus. Now, you can also add your own ambient files. If you click the logo up here and say Open Sample Folder, it's going to open that. If you jump into samples, you can drop any WAV files inside of here, and then you can use them as your own ambience, which is super cool. Once you've added your own, you just come in and say refresh samples, and it will make sure that you can see your files inside of here. One thing that I did notice when I was just flipping through presets is you're probably going to want to turn down your file. It's almost always adding volume, and that's because of the dry wet mix down here. Do that, or maybe add a limiter to your channel just to make sure you don't go too crazy with it. Over here we do have low cut and high cut options. Just turn them on and then use the slider. So very, very useful there as well. And I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of what is available, but really the wide range of sounds that you get from this is quite impressive. Let's check out some other ones. So cool. Let's move on to the bass now. So again, it's really making it sound vintage. It's making it sound like an MPC on tape, and I've got the vinyl in there just to add that extra bit of crackle. Campfire and crickets, so dope. All right, so next up, let's check it out on these keys. I really affected these keys, if I remember correctly. I really made them, burn it. So it's just so dope. You might not want to use noise on each one of the tracks because then the noises get kind of overwhelming, and I think I did that. So I mean, on some of them you might just come on and turn it right off. So maybe on the bass, for example, and the lead, you might turn off the noise, but just run some of these chorusing effects instead. So you just keep that in mind while you're using the plugin. So cool. And one other thing I used it on was this lead guitar. So anyway, that's a quick look at that thing. It's definitely doing exactly what it wants to do, what it sets out to do, and what it says it's going to do on the tin. It makes things sound vintage very easily, and it sounds great every time. And if you don't like it, what you have available to tweak is going to make it perfect for whatever setting you choose. So anyway, that's That Thing by Beatskillz. I'm Joshua Casper here for Plugin Boutique. I will see you in the next video.